ni kondanego imwana wa bwino yeve ni mukondanego ni gela ya bwino yeve ni kondanego uyujuli yo yo ni mukondanego mama uyujuli yo yo ni mukondanego mama ni mwana wa bwino yeve ni mukondanego.
The Music Crossroads program, as it works today, it has developed over time, and we have learned a lot of things during the journey that started from the beginning in 1995 with a sort of blueprint, a sketch of what we could do. And I flew down to Harare in Zimbabwe in 1995 to meet with different potential stakeholders for me to understand a little bit better how the marketplace works. And I came back after 10 days. I had at least understood that a platform for young musicians in Africa to express themselves through music was a very important one. My first finding was that the marketplace for live music was dominated by the old established musicians who would or would not take on young musicians in their bands. But it always built on their purposes or their conditions, which is of course quite different from the way that the pop and rock music works in Europe and North America. So what I did, I contacted one of my old colleagues from a regional Musik Direct association in Sweden, who I knew was born in Africa and who was a man with many different skills, a jack of all trades, you can say. And that was Stig.
The structure was totally new. We had the model of Music Direct from Sweden, but to of course adjust it and customize it according to each country's circumstance, environment, economy, and so forth. So that's when we started, and we managed then to start to sweep through all of the 9 provinces of Zimbabwe doing the first round of local festivals.
I believe that music to me is an inborn thing. So I got into live music. We mobilized with the guys about some 2 years ago. That's when we went into full-time live music. Before, we were just doing like at school, you mobilize with some guys, you take, say, plastic containers, you start playing. That's when I realized that, no, I can do this. That's why I decided, so I just got to carry on and move on with music. In the first place, I couldn't make it at the provincial satellite festival. So I couldn't just stop there because it was haunting me, you know. I just wanted to penetrate. So by then, I was doing it as a solo artist. So after seeing what they wanted, they said, nah, you shouldn't be doing it on CD, because I went with a CD to do some backup. So they said, no, we've got to do something which is mature, see what I mean? So after failing to go through, that's when I had to sit down, okay, let's mobilize guys. That's why we mobilized. And so Crossroads, yeah, it's cool and good, because we are now at the InterRegional festivals.
It's a combination of students of the same primary school. It's called Lumumba Theatre Primary School. It's located in Kariakor, Dar es Salaam. And they've been studying there. They have a teacher of theirs who's called Mr. Komba, who is very much in love with culture, music, and etc. So they proved to the teacher that they wanted to develop this as a career.
And first to come on stage, ladies and gentlemen, is a group from Tanzania. A big hand, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the Lumumba Theatre.
Music Crossroads Tanzania started in 2000. There was a pilot project that Stig came, and he met a few people, and they started a board of a committee. And from then it developed. And what we do usually is to have local festivals around the country. And after the local festivals, there comes the national festival. And after the national festival, then we come to the InterRegional festival. The main challenge, if I say in a Tanzanian sense, is that traditional music is getting lost. If you want to promote your music on the airwaves, meaning the radio, the TV, it will be a bit difficult because most of the promoters would prefer the modern sense. So they're having the difficulty to promote themselves in their own country. You know, music is something that is such an expression that if you take it to any level of market, you know, someone can understand this is what this person was trying to say.
Let's get dancing to the music, can you feel the feeling? Let's get dancing to the music, can you feel the feeling? Let's get dancing to the music, can you feel the feeling? The feeling, the feeling, the feeling, the feeling, the feeling, the feeling, the feeling.
I wish all of us could have loose clothes where we're going to move our legs, move our bodies.
It is not enough for Music Crossroads to be present once per year. It should not be like a circus coming, putting up the tent, having the show. Next morning when the kids come back, the tents are gone, the circus artists have left. Instead, Music Crossroads should be something that comes back regularly over the year with different kinds of activities, like training workshops on specific instruments, or master classes with famous musicians, or training in basic music education, how to record music, how to improve your music, so on and so forth. We see there is a huge need for us to supply basic music education. We are in an area with 100 million inhabitants in the 5 countries. And as far as I know, there are 5 training institutions for musicians. And if you compare that with, for instance, Europe, where the smallest town has at least 5 music schools, it's quite a big difference. And I think if we look at Africa in a more visionary way, it may be so that Africa lacks certain issues, infrastructure, natural resources, etc. But where Africa is immensely rich is in the culture.